When going through anxiety DPDR, I remember going out and doing things that normal me would want to do, but still having a terrible time. It genuinely felt like the symptoms were unbearable to the point where no matter what I was doing, I just couldn't take my mind off them and put it onto whatever I was doing. That's why it honestly takes practice of putting yourself into these uncomfortable positions and learning to redirect your attention onto something else. Because at first, it really did not feel like it was even possible. It felt like the only thing I can do is focus on my symptoms. Like, I remember going out for walks and going near the water, and typically that would create a positive emotion or some sense of peace when you're looking out at, a lake or whatever. But in my case, when I was looking out at open water or like the big sky, it was insanely overstimulating and would only lead to intrusive thoughts, existential thoughts, and it was just not an enjoyable experience at all. Even though that's something I used to enjoy, I would love to go out near the water. But when going through recovery, I kind of hated it, but I still went and did it anyway. And over time, the more that I did it, the less it bothered me, and eventually I gradually started to enjoy it again. And when I finally gave up the fight with anxiety, depersonalization, derealization, all my symptoms in general, I started to go into situations almost going after it or going into it knowing it would be pretty bad. Like, for instance, I remember I went on a walk one time with my girlfriend, and at that point, I thought about it. I'm like, hey, I really would like to go home. But instead, I kind of changed the narrative in my head. And instead of choosing the comfort of going home and watching recovery content, I thought to myself, okay, what would normal me want to do? And I know normal me would like to do something after. I decided, okay, let's go see a movie. Knowing very well a loud movie theater with a giant screen would be overwhelming for me, I still went because that's what normal me would want to do. And doing things like this over and over and putting myself into these uncomfortable positions, even though I knew the anxiety, the DPDR would be overwhelming, I was able to rebuild the confidence into these situations, and gradually, over time, I started to actually enjoy them again. Because over time, it becomes second nature to not be so focused on the symptoms when you stop treating them like it's this massive emergency or something you need to fix. And once the focus and the worry and the fear is all gone from your symptoms, where they're there, they're still sticking around, but you're living as normally as you possibly can, but you just don't care about them anymore. That's when your nervous system finally truly gets the chance to heal, and because of that, it slowly takes the symptoms away. Simply because it acknowledges that it doesn't need to send you symptoms anymore because you're safe. There's no threat. The threat in our case oftentimes is the symptoms themselves. So once we stop reacting to the symptoms, our nervous system understands, okay, it's not a threat. We don't need to produce symptoms anymore. But if you're in the thick of DPDR right now, you can get my completely free DPDR Calm Kit by clicking the link on my profile.